Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to season 2, episode 148. On today's episode, guys, I'm going to be giving you a Barcelona news roundup. There has been some news that I've wanted to bring to you guys. But first piece of the news today, I'm going to be talking about the Barcelona pivot options. Then later we'll be talking into other subjects, such as like a possible Neymar return to Barcelona and Barcelona's interest in the Brazilian, and not the Brazilian, in the Turkish wonderkid, Arda Guler, who plays for Fenerbahce, the 18-year-old exciting player. But guys, remember, follow us on our social media platforms, on TikTok, on Instagram. Follow us on everything. It's at Kool-Aid Podcast. On Twitter, it's at Kool-Aid Podcast 10. But let's get right into the episode. So guys, Jerry Romero has reported that in the current economic situation, Brozovic and Parejo are the two players on the list for the pivot position. Now, both Zubamendi and Kimmich have basically rejected Barcelona. Kimmich, he wants to stay at Bayern. Zubamendi, he wants to stay at Real Sociedad. Now, two of Xavi's favorite pivot options, they've been discarded. We can no longer go for them. Both transfer sagas are cold at the moment. And so we're going to have to be looking at other pivot options. And those pivot options that are being named are both Brozovic and Parejo. Now, out of the two players, I would be in favor of Brozovic, not only just because I believe that he has more experience in the big games, but also because Parejo is 34 years old. Parejo, and on top of that, is not a lone pivot. He is not like an out-and-out pivot. Brozovic is. And Brozovic, on top of that, is 4 years younger than Parejo. He's 30 years old. I don't believe that Barca should be going for Parejo. Both of these players would be cheap options. Just the problem with the signing of Parejo is, according to Fabrizio Romano, let me pull it up right now. He is not going to be coming to Barcelona. He's actually thinking about going to Al Nassr. I believe he's going to Al Nassr. Al Nassr are now pushing to get Marcelo Brozovic's deal done. No full agreement yet on final terms on the deal. Still some details to be discussed. The negotiation is ongoing. Talks will continue as Brozovic is open to joining Al Nassr. Now the reported fee that Inter are going to be receiving is around like 15 million euros. However, Inter Milan are waiting for a little bit more. That they're holding out for a little bit more cash, maybe around like the 25 million mark. But that is our pivot options. There is some rumors about Lo Celso coming to Barcelona. Xavi's a huge fan of him, but he wouldn't be coming in as a pivot option. We need a pivot, and I think that should be one of our main priorities in the summer. So out of the two players, guys, what do you guys think? Both have a lot of experience. Brozovic, I believe, has a little more experience in the very huge games, World Cup final, Champions League final, even though he hasn't been successful. He is a little bit younger. And I think he suits our style a little bit more than Parejo. But yeah, if you guys are a fan of Parejo, let us know down in the comment section below why you would want him to join. But now moving on to another piece of news, I wanted to talk to you guys about. Let me see right here. I wanted to talk to you about the possibility of Neymar returning to the club. Now we hear these rumors of Neymar returning to Barcelona basically every summer. The Spanish media, they like to drum up attention, because since Barcelona's not going to be playing their games, there isn't going to be much news. The only news in the summers, it's transfer news, or if there's a summer tournament, etc., etc. But Neymar has offered himself to FC Barcelona, and according to Adrian Sanchez, the head of Más Que Pelotas, another Barcelona channel, in the last few days, Neymar has been sending messages to people at Barca to test the atmosphere about a possible return, but they advise him to focus on PSG. Now, Barcelona board is split on the Neymar return. Half of them want the Neymar to return, half of them do not want Neymar to return, and I'm a little bit torn about this Neymar return, because he is a fantastic player and I would love him to come to Barcelona. However, I don't see how he would fit. Xavi himself has said, yes, I love Neymar. I'm a big fan of him, but he's not in the list of priorities this summer. And I completely agree. Barcelona should now, they should be trying to look for a replacement of Busquets, trying to reinforce that pivot option and to reinforce that right back position, because we do not want Kunde to be playing in that position. He is not a natural right back, and they could compete at the highest level. We need quality players and natural players in the position. And so, as much as I would love Neymar to return to Barcelona, I don't think it's viable, and I don't think it will happen. And Neymar, he, I 100% agree that he regrets that decision to leave Barcelona in 2017, 2018. But I don't see how Neymar returns. Yeah, I believe this is just some rumors of Neymar just like seeing how if a return is possible. But I find it very difficult. On top of that, that the Messi return wasn't possible. If the Messi return wasn't possible, I doubt the Neymar return would be possible as well. But guys, now moving on to another piece of exciting news. FC Barcelona are going with everything they signed Arda Guler. The club has launched a full offensive to sign him. Now, also, Sport has also reported this exact same news. This Turkish wonder kid, 18-year-old, plays for Fenerbahce. He's an attacking midfielder. He's been impressing scouts and big clubs so much that people already want to sign him already. His release clause is 17.5 million euros, and you have clubs like Real Madrid, Liverpool, and Barcelona all interested to sign him. However, in the same hand, Mundo Deportivo have said Barcelona would not enter the bid for Guler, despite the fact that the Barca club keeps very good reports on the Turkish pearl. Right now, it has other priorities. Um, Now, I don't know how I feel about that, because as I just said with Neymar, we do need an attacking midfielder, but that shouldn't be one of our most um like first most or utmost priorities. Our utmost priority should be to reinforce that pivot and that right back position. But if this is a young and talented player for only 17 million euros, I would say take the gamble, because if this guy turns out to be the next world beater, the next star, do Barcelona really want to miss out on this and be the club who once again miss out on a fantastic player for very cheap? I don't know. But guys, would you guys be in favor of signing Arda Guler? I personally would like to see that happen, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. Now moving on to like one of our final pieces of news, we're gonna talk about Thomas Munir, the Borussia Dortmund right back. Munir, who was contacted a year ago by Jordi Cruyff, is not waiting for the Barca club and is already studying some of the offers that have come from Italy and England. This is a report coming from Mundo Deportivo, and this report is basically saying, hey, that the deal for Munir is not advancing. He does not want to wait for Barcelona, as he has other offers that are coming from Italy and England. And then I completely agree with this. I don't believe that Thomas should be our right back. I don't think he is Barcelona quality. And so if he goes, perfect, because we do not want another Sergio Roberto regen at the club. We should be signing world class and top quality right backs. And I don't believe that he would be the option, especially at the age of 31. We want to be signing players who are young or at their peak, for example. But that is one of the Barcelona right back options that are being discussed, and another one that is being discarded. But guys, now talking into the final pieces of news that I wanted to mention is the piece of news of Joan Laporta being in Qatar. He has been doing some dealings. He's establishing friendly relationships with Qatari businessmen, which has led to this report. Qatari businessmen have offered Laporta to open a Barcelona franchise in the Qatari league, like the City Group model. If that happens, it could mean a big economic injection. Now, this is humongous news, because, as you guys know, the City Group model, they have multiple clubs. Just like in the MLS, they have a club in the MLS. They're partnered with, I believe it's Girona or Mallorca, one of the two clubs, and I need to be sure on that. But they own these clubs in multiple different leagues, and so it allows for the owners to own multiple clubs, interchange players and everything like that. Everything it does, like, you can't just like sell it for cheap prices or anything. I'm pretty sure like there's some workarounds of that and some regulations. But the ramifications or the benefits of Barcelona accepting this deal and creating a Qatari subsidiary would mean that Barcelona receive a huge economic injection. And we know how Barcelona is struggling financially. And if Barcelona are able to basically get this deal over the line, it can mean we could be having a huge summer transfer window. And as Alamani said, the transfer window has just begun. But guys, that was it for our Barcelona news roundup. What did you guys make of all the topics that we discussed? What do you guys think of Brozovic and Dani Parejo? Would you guys like to see one or both of them come to Barcelona to reinforce that pivot option? What do you guys think of the Neymar return? Do you guys think that's possible at all? Would you guys to see that to happen? And what do you guys think of the Turkish wonderkid Arda Guler? Would you like Barcelona to push for him, or would you like the Barcelona saying, "Hey, this is a kid who's very young. Let's see how he develops in other teams, and then and if Barcelona's still interested, Barcelona will go for the move then." But guys, that was it for our Barcelona news roundup. Remember, like, subscribe, and comment. Follow us on all of our social media platforms, and we'll see you guys all